What's up, you cool-ass dudes? Thanks for listening to our fun-ass podcast, Rebrand. This is a fun, and I'd say by any definition, adorable episode concerning the rebranding of babies. You're gonna love it. It's just me and Ashter. That's my little nickname for my wife, Ashley. It's fun when you get to the point in a marriage where you're referring to each other with nicknames that you would give a Little League baseball player or something. We have a Patreon if you're interested in joining. If not, no biggie. We appreciate your listenership more than we need your money. But if you want to support the podcast, go to Rebrand the Pod, and you get unreleased content. You get to join the Discord immediately, where people are always gabbing it up. Occasionally, Ashley and I do hangouts with the Discord, which has been really fun. And you get ad-free episodes as well. So that's it.
Rebrand! Ding! Hello, beloved consumers. I'm Ashley Birch.
And I'm Mort.
And welcome to Rebrand, a comedy podcast where we inject new life into tired old brands, whether they be snack food, celebrities, or religious institutions.
That's so funny. I had a dream last night that we went to a concert and it was not Steven Tyler, although that would have been appropriate. Who was it? It was some other. And they gave me the microphone and I held a note so long that everybody in the stadium was really impressed and went crazy for me.
That was the dream you had last night?
They picked like 4 people from the audience. He played a Lou Reed song. I don't remember which one. And then had everybody sing a little bit.
Oh, wait, you were in the audience?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. So you were in the audience. I just imagine you sitting in the audience, you hold the note, then you stand up, and then you turn around, and you face the rest of the audience, and you put your arms up, and you continue to hold the note, and everyone's like, is he good? And they just start screaming and freaking out.
That's exactly what it was.
Amazing.
Like, I held the note, and people were like, oh, he sings, he sounds all right. And then, like, they sort of realized how long I was holding the note, and they were like went to a hushed crowd, and everybody was like, no way. Like when you see somebody doing something so amazing that you stop because you don't want to distract them.
Yeah, right.
I could tell from the reaction from the audience, I went on so much longer than they thought was humanly possible.
I love this dream.
To me, that feels like vaudeville level entertainment. Like when they used to bring quote unquote freaks around, but it would just be some guy who's like 6'3" because everybody was 5'4" at the time. And they were like, look at this giant freak, because there was no entertainment. You know what I mean? And a little bit we have in some ways.
I suppose TikTok of a fashion is sort of that.
Like the dog that you love who has the human hands that we both love.
Okay, yeah, because that's, for a second, I just saw a Cronenbergian creature in my head, but now I remember what you're saying. Yeah, so the person, it's a pit bull, and one of his owners, docents, if you will, is behind him acting as, like, you know how...
It's like the short form game that they would do on Whose Line Is It Anyway sometimes.
Right, where someone else would be, like, Ryan Stiles would be Colin Mockery's hands.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
I cannot believe I remember both of those men's names.
I think you love that show.
I did love that show when I was a child. But I can't remember the word, like, pickle sometimes. And all the Colin Mockery is right at the top of the dome. Truly insane. So, yeah, there's someone's doing this, but with their pit bull. And they're just impeccable at it. They wear gloves usually, but the pit bull's always kind of dressed like a hip hop rapper. A little bit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, like a French guy who's into hip hop.
Like a French guy that's into hip hop.
Like a windbreaker with like a gold chain.
Yes, but the whole videos are just him eating food. So he like slams his fist. This entire episode just describe TikToks. And
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. And let's make it a 3-hour episode. The guy who is doing the hands is an incredible hand actor.
Yeah.
And the dog is just excited to be eating a buttery corn on the cob.
But he's also very stoic.
The dog is. Uh-huh.
Yes. He's both excited and stoic, if you can imagine. And
totally.
Periodically, the dude with the gloves will just throw something over his shoulder,
which is really funny. So it looks like the dog is sick of it, whatever he's eating, or it's like a chicken bone or something. He tosses it behind him. He checks his watch. He points to his watch. He's very impatient for the food, which is funny. And it really is the kind of thing that people would have found entertaining before they learned how to build narrative through editing.
But we love it.
As our attention spans are shrinking and our willingness to spend time with entertainment of any depth is collapsing, it's now turning into just like weird French comedy.
And baby, we love it.
And we love it. So I think that we're not that far away from the most famous musician in the world is this the guy who can hold a note for a really long time.
Sure. Back when MoviePass was still a thing, we went and saw The Greatest Showman. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it was a musical. Mm-hmm. Within, I would say, 2 minutes of the film starting, they start singing, and I went, "Oh no!" out loud in the in the theater because I didn't know it was a musical. But I can't remember who was saying this. Maybe it was a friend that I was talking to, or maybe I'm stealing this joke from a different entertainer. But they were saying how like it's so strange, the the bearded lady could just shave. She could, you would have stubble. She could probably put makeup on. She has very impeccable eye makeup. Mm-hmm. And then Zendaya and her brother are just black. Mm-hmm. And they're in the quote unquote freak show. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you would have done, your dream Mort would have done very well in the Greatest Showman era, I think.
Yeah, and in that movie, at no point did they address the exploitation of these people.
Sure don't. They're like, oh, Barnum and Bailey, what a hero.
The nightmare parade of desperate humanity.
Yeah, no.
That is like people effectively being caged and pointed at and gawked at by people who are no less freakish, by the way.
No, because they needed that song where they were like, this is me, I love myself.
Yeah.
After no actual like narrative devices were utilized to like result in any kind of arc of any kind for any of those characters. I think the way that happens is that they're at a party and people are like, these fucking freaks. And then they leave and they sing that song.
So we're to believe that they're able to survive this life of total exploitation and economic colonialism and servitude.
By being like, this is
because they're
me.
like, actually, I look pretty fucking good.
Yeah, woo, this is me, I love myself.
Yeah.
Which in a way, you're like, okay, I guess that's nice that you love yourself.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
That one song is pretty good. That never enough, never.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I heard at some point, why are we talking about The Greatest Showman? This movie came out 70 years ago.
I was wondering if you brought it up because I mentioned
holding a note as long as you can.
Well, and a time before, like
yes.
when before entertainment had evolved.
That is why. Thank you for saying that, honey. I was about to go into a feral rage that we were talking about The Greatest Showman. Even though I brought it up. Hey, I'm in a mood.
Yeah.
How about ya?
Yeah, I've had a rough couple of days emotionally.
Yeah, you have, and I have, and
yeah.
Ooh, wait.
Yep.
Rough out here in these streets, as Naomi Ekperigin, former guest, would say.
Yeah, I'm having an experience where self-hatred that I haven't had for a while, and hatred of others, but it's also really eclipsed by self-hatred, is arriving at an intensity that it hasn't in, I'm going to say like maybe 4 years or something.
Yeah, I don't think I would say that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
Which I should say, we should chart that as growth.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. It's also scary when it comes back.
Absolutely, for sure.
You know? What it's accompanied by is this thing that is like, and what if it's like this forever?
Yeah, right. Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Every feeling feels like it's going to be the only feeling you have for the rest of your life, even though your entire life you have never had that experience.
Yeah, totally. And I'm really...
I mean, you've probably had feelings that have stuck around for a long time, but...
Yeah, but everything changes.
But everything changes.
It just does. The this too shall pass thing is just true. Like, it just will change eventually.
Yeah, whether you want it to or not.
Right. But the brain, which God bless it, it's a beautiful tool. It is trying to keep you safe, but it thinks that the safest thing it can do is make you worry about the possibility of this lasting forever, which is actually the least safe thing you can worry about.
I know. Well, as we talk about in the episode of anxiety disorder of I'm happier here now on YouTube.
As Ashley's husband, I can say it is absolute gold. It's the best thing you'll see on the internet today.
Very kind.
Guaranteed.
You're very kind. But we talk about how it's it's the brain of a baby that's conjuring. This is like a baby's best approximation of like what to do in a dangerous situation, which is to say that it is a bad idea because babies are, God bless them, kind of dumb.
I think adults are way dumber than babies. We made up like auto insurance and corporate lawyers. We did a bunch of stupid shit.
Do you want to take that again without chomping eyes?
I think adults are dumber than babies. We made corporate lawyers and auto insurance and a bunch of stupid shit.
That's true. Well, this segues us perfectly, actually, impeccably, which was not my intention, but wow, look at us.
Really?
Go.
That was an accident?
That was an accident. Also, this is just a Mort and Ashley intimate rebrand, if you haven't guessed already.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if we were saying all of that and there was a guest just sitting next to us waiting to be introduced so they could speak.
And it's Colin Mockery. He's like, what the fuck?
Do you think we could get him?
Maybe. God damn, there's so many. I want to get all the original Conan writers.
I thought you were going to say all of the cast members of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
That too.
Yeah.
Including Big Drew.
Big Drew. Ugh.
Papa Carey.
Have we talked on this podcast before about how in The Sims, I think it was The Sims, there's some sort of party expansion pack. If you threw a good enough party that Drew Carey would show up.
No, is he the only human from the real world that exists?
As far as I know, yeah.
That's really fun.
It's a bunch of Sims and then Drew Carey.
Apparently he loves doing... Is he Price is Right?
I don't know if he is anymore.
I wish that sound would have lasted for 20 minutes.
Like as long as the note that you held.
Yeah. A stadium full of people. Oh my God.
Is this the kind of ASMR that the kids are hankering for these days?
I don't know. Is that what they need to soothe their nervous systems?
I mean, that's... This ain't even an intimate rebrand. This is an unhinged rebrand.
I do feel like for some reason, if you posted just that to YouTube, it would have like 35,000 views. There would be some niche.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 35 million.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it would pop off.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe
10-hour loop.
A huge portion of the population finds it incredibly calming.
Okay, so what do you think is the current brand of babies?
I think they're in their funky little diapers. They're crying on the plane.
Right.
I think
Plain babies is a big...
Yeah, I think people hate the babies.
Yeah. Honestly, I think planes are single-handedly really killing the brand of babies.
Right, which is, by the way, not the baby's fault.
No.
Maybe
we should ground every plane. Maybe that should be the first order of business.
Okay.
To rebrand babies.
Okay. Thereby short-circuiting the entire economy.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Collapse of the geopolitical system.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Entirely, for an untold amount of time.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you.
Our clients are babies. I don't care about the rest of the world.
First rebrand of the babies, I think there should be at least 4 baby congressmen.
From which states?
Colorado.
Okay.
Atlanta. That's not a state.
But I know what you mean. Yeah, Georgia.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to say California gets one. Let's do a wild card, Arkansas.
Okay, great.
4 baby congresspeople. Because you know what I think that would really do?
Huh.
I think that would up the level of gentleness and respect in Congress for a little bit.
I hear you. That does make me think we might need more babies then.
Okay, let's say, yeah. How many congresspeople are there?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's a ton.
Right, there's a shitload, right?
Right,
Okay,
because there's significantly more Congress people than senators. How many representatives per state? Oh, yeah. Okay, 435 seats.
Whoa, yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
let's say 130
Babies.
baby congresspeople.
Baby congresspeople.
130 baby congresspeople.
Great. Little suits?
Little suits until they become uncomfortable.
Okay, and then they can go nudie.
Yeah, and then
Nudie
go
too.
into their diaper, yeah.
Okay, great. And then quick follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking like toddlers, like they can toddle around? I would love for them to toddle around.
Say a couple of toddlers.
Oh, of the 130.
We'll
So
say-
some are straight up babies.
Yep. We'll say 25 3-year-olds. Is that old enough?
When did kids start walking?
I don't fucking know.
Whoa! He's coming at me hard. He's coming hot and hard. He's got a rude attitude.
Did you see that? I'll take this up with the Conor O'Malley clip where Seth is asking him about like watching movies
Yeah.
on the shorts. He goes, "The fuck do you care?" Which is the funniest question to ask at late night talk show. To act like it's weird that the talk show host is asking you questions.
The fuck do you care?
The fuck do you care?
That's excellent. Okay, great. So we've got a couple of babies.
Yep.
When I say babies, I should clarify. I do mean like pre-elementary school, but I do include toddlers in. I'm not making a distinction.
Okay.
I really like toddlers.
Okay. So we're saying like ages 1 to 4 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I count that as baby.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
In my lexicon.
So
My
ages 1 to
personal
4.
lexicon.
Not so young that it will be unhealthy for the babies to be there,
Right.
and there's going to be some people on the terrible twos there, which I think is excellent to let the Congress people have to deal with that. Because I think you're absolutely right. Like, it would really change the dynamic if somebody's doing like a really contentious monologue and then they have to pick up a toddler congressperson who's like waddled over to them and wants to like put the mic in their mouth.
Yeah, right. I also just had this image of like other Congresspeople having to try to whip the votes of these babies?
Yes.
Like trying to bribe them?
And they have to refer to them as Baby Congressperson and then the full name of the baby.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know how they would determine how the baby votes. There are those things where they like put out 2 stuffed animals and they see which baby goes to which stuffed animal.
Yep.
So you could have like a Democrat on one stuffed animal and a Republican on the other one going like, come on, buddy.
Yeah.
To see, and then whichever stuffed animal they
Totally.
choose.
Or like this one says Clean Air Act. This one says subsidize corporate pollution.
Yeah, right. Whatever bullshit.
And I think just for yucks, 10 of the babies, their votes are worth 20 times what a normal congressperson's vote is worth.
Okay, I have a question, which is, do we think that Republicans are going to be better at courting the babies? This is what I fear.
I mean, if that's the case, then the Democrats are going to have to learn.
I mean, isn't that always what we're saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I really like this.
Because I think babies, and I consider this a compliment. I think they're like dogs in that they can read people.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think there will be a level of, they'll be able to sense the essence. They'll know to stay away from a Ted Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think. I really feel like...
Oh, that's probably true.
Yeah, that's sort of my guess.
Great.
Although, God bless if one of these young righteous Democrat senators is coming all hot and righteous.
Might upset the baby.
Might upset the baby.
Might upset the baby just because it's loud or something, not necessarily because they disagree with the politics.
We gotta be gentle with these babies. There's a bunch of babies in the room now.
Right. So you're feeling like that will just up the gentility in general.
First of all, they're getting paid plenty of money. The least they can do is also have to do a little bit of babysitting.
Sure.
So I'm saying, like, these babies, there's also, there's a caretaker with the baby, right, to change. It's not exclusively up to the Congress people.
Right.
But
sometimes,
because the babies will be given the freedom that any other adult will be given, like, if they get up and walk or start toddling around, so you might see a Democrat and a Republican changing the diaper together of one baby.
Right. No one can filibuster when there's a poopy diaper in the house. So I'm wondering then maybe should we extend the right to vote to all babies? Not just the Congress babies. Like you get to vote from 1 to 4 and then it stops again until you're 18. Yeah,
I think that's great. 1 to 4 you vote. Yep, totally. And also let's raise the driving age to 26.
Okay. Just as a side note.
Yeah, 15-year-olds are able to drive.
It is really crazy. I was walking around our complex and walking Cody yesterday, and I saw what truly looked like 2 strangely tall children coming out of a car that they had clearly operated themselves, and I was aghast.
Yeah.
I put a fucking racing stripe the length of a city block on my car within minutes of getting it when I was 15. My sweet mother had procured me this like used car.
Yeah.
And I was backing out of our driveway and like instantly. And I didn't know how to correct.
Yeah.
That was similar to the noise that I was doing. Like, Does this sound like a monster though? Like a horror monster?
Do it again. At first. But then I think prolonged, it's like a pleasant kind of white noise. Yeah.
All right, I feel that.
Yeah, in the way that like cats find their own purring very soothing.
Purring is soothing, though, don't you think?
Yeah.
This is the other thing that I'll say. Back to babies.
Okay.
I think that every baby, if you have a baby, you should be obligated to adopt a baby animal alongside the baby you just had.
Agreed. And film it and post it.
Any
interactions need to be filmed. Any sweet interactions to be filmed and posted. Okay, I got another one.
Okay.
All major league sports have one team that is entirely babies. And I'm talking coaches. I'm talking owners. I'm talking cheerleaders. I'm talking announcers. I'm talking people taking the tickets.
Are all the fans adults?
You can bring babies.
Right. I could go to this game.
Dude, and how much would you love to go to this game?
I would pay I don't go to sports games. I do not care about sports. I would go to this in a fucking heartbeat. I would pay
heartbeat.
So much money.
Right.
Are the vendors, like the hot dog vendors and stuff, are they also babies?
I think there's babies and adults there.
Yeah, I don't want the babies to get hurt.
No.
Around like the fryers and all that
totally,
kind of stuff.
And you want to be able to get the food.
Yes.
as well. So you need adult, but I'd say the baby works the cash register.
Yeah, I probably it's like a worker that has like one of those baby Bjorns in the front. Mm-hmm. So then the baby kind of just hits whatever numbers. But then whatever numbers they hit, it's what you have to pay. Mm-hmm. So if they miss all the numbers, you're lucky you get a free hot dog. But then if they hit like 20000, you're on the hook.
Yeah. And let's say this is the NBA. Let's say it's basketball.
Sure.
If one of the babies dribbles the basketball, not their cute little dribble and spit, that's worth 20 points. If it goes bounce,
yeah.
right? So
if they do anything,
there's huge advantages.
That's fun because I feel like you would be watching very tensely, like if the baby started to get up, and like kick the ball around, and be like, oh,
totally. You know? On the baby team, there's one really, really good adult, so that he can pick up the babies, raise them high in the air near the basket, so the babies. I want the babies to be able to score because that would be so much fun for the crowd.
Yes, I'm with you. I will say I like your addendum, though, to the point system where a baby doing something very mundanely baby could also get them points. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest possibly as an addendum to that the adult player can only be in the game for like a cumulative 10 minutes.
So he's on the sidelines.
Yes.
He gets to choose. Well, as soon as he comes on the court, a clock starts. Yes. He's got 10 minutes. Right. Okay. When he
that cumulatively. So if he only comes in for 20 seconds, you know what I mean?
Totally. When he gets off, the watch stops.
Yep.
The clock watch stops. Yeah. It's like the shot clock, but it's the adult clock.
Yes. So he's obviously sweating buckets on the sidelines, but he has to be strategic about when he comes in.
Because he's got to really, really be focused on the game. And I think probably for this, it's up to 4 years old. So there's only a few 1-year-olds. They're mostly like ages 3 and 4. It's also half court. Let's shorten the length of the court. And same with like the NHL, which I'm really thinking about. The hockey will be very funny because they have like little sticks and stuff.
I do think that the cheerleaders could all probably be the younger ones because then they can just sit there.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, totally.
And they can be in cute little outfits, but they'll just be sitting there.
Yeah, they got like little pom-poms.
And they'll fall asleep and whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's the falling asleep thing is so fun too because I feel like the crowd's going to be really excited, but they don't want to surprise or frighten the babies with any really loud eruptions.
Right. You can only golf clap in any sports arena from now on.
Ooh, I didn't even think about baby golf.
Baby golf. Okay, I think here's what I would suggest. Could we have different leagues? Because I do think that genuinely seeing babies play these sports, not having to augment them because they're babies, could be really funny. You know what I mean? Like seeing a kid that's really trying to golf. How old do you think that kid would have to be to like stand upright, hold a golf club, and hit a golf ball?
Yeah, I mean, I am legally a pediatrician, but I'm going to say 4.
So maybe we could also have the league of 4-year-olds.
Well, we don't have to change anything at all. I mean, it can just straight up be
golf, but with babies.
Yeah, but I think it's difficult because what is preventing an actual NBA team from just trouncing the babies?
Well, they'd have to be part of baby league. You know what I mean? It's babies fighting babies. Like the WNBA doesn't fight the NBA.
I like how you call it fighting. We're suggesting there's 2 separate leagues. One where there's one baby team in the NBA who takes on adults. And then there's a second league.
Baby league.
All babies.
All babies. And then, honey.
Oops, all babies.
Oops, all babies. Then we have like the Westminster Dog Show equivalent, which is all puppies.
Yeah, of course. Which obviously that needs to happen. And then, that's the other thing too, is then Puppy Bowl can take place on the field with the babies.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good. I think I'm trying to decide which will be more successful, the adult versus babies league or the babies versus babies league. I think there's more action in the adult versus babies league.
Sure.
It's kind of like one of these situations where like if you get a Michael Jordan, then all of a sudden the entire league...
A baby Michael Jordan?
Yeah, if you get a baby Michael Jordan, then all of a sudden all of America is going to tune in. Like if you get a freakishly...
We have a preternaturally talented baby.
Like a 3-year-old who's like, God, this kid can shoot jumpers from like the free throw line. Whether he's in the baby versus baby league or the baby versus adult league, he brings up the viewership dramatically.
Right.
At that point, you do get into the challenges of, are we exploiting these children?
Yes, I will say to that end...
all money goes to baby charities.
All money goes to baby charities. Also, as soon as the baby starts crying, you just take them off the field entirely. They go to their mommy or their daddy, their parent, their caregiver.
It's got to be that way.
They take a nap.
Because all the fun is lost if the baby starts suffering.
Yeah, and if all the babies are crying at the same time and it's like 15 minutes in, sorry, game's over. Maybe what we do is we always have puppies on standby. You know, so in case all the babies start crying,
Yeah.
at minute 15, you just release the puppies,
Yeah, totally.
and then it's puppy time.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And then we're going to have access to tons of like babas and suckers.
Yeah, rattles.
Yeah, rattles. What's the thing?
Oh, pacifiers.
Yeah, pacifiers. All like pacifier sponsorships and stuff.
How can we use Boss Baby to our advantage?
Elaborate.
Look, we already have this like franchise, right? We have Baby Geniuses, we have Boss Baby.
Yeah, I mean, I have an idea.
Okay, please.
Local Boss Baby plays.
Okay.
So kind of a live theater experience.
Oh, interesting.
All we got a Boss Baby. Because I've never seen Boss Baby.
Nor have I.
But I'm assuming there are adults in this world.
I have no idea, actually. Taking wild guesses. I would assume so. I would assume it's not just babies.
Right. It's probably not just a boss, because then it would just be baby office, right? Presumably the boss.
Which is, honey.
Oh,
great
yeah.
idea.
We're talking TV. You're talking Parks and Rec ball babies.
Well, if you did The Office, but they're all babies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We do like Seinfeld babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Like Muppet Babies. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. We just applied the Muppet Baby formula to everything. Mm-hmm. Baby Game of Thrones. Yeah. Baby Severance.
Baby Game of Thrones is funny because Joffrey will be represented by sonogram.
Yeah, there's the Make the Bad Man Fly kid, which would be like a sperm entering an egg.
Yeah. Oh, Baby Last of Us. That's hard.
Baby Last of Us is hard, but we'll have to do it. I mean, we're applying the Muppet Babies formula to everything.
Baby Chernobyl.
Baby
Baby, like Christopher Nolan Batman is funny, where
Yeah.
it's like the gritty, crime-ridden city, but it's all babies or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm wondering, are these going to be like subtitled? You know, the baby's like, but it says like, I'm Batman.
Yeah, we could do that. We could subtitle it. Yeah. I mean, I think ideally it would just stand on its own.
I mean, there's also the Look Who's Talking option, which is have celebs voice the babies,
I'd rather subtitle it, I think.
Okay, sure.
Let's say that you're doing Baby Chernobyl. Mm-hmm. What celebrity would you have doing Jared Hess's part?
I've never seen Chernobyl.
Okay, let's try a different one. Let's see. Okay, you're doing Baby Schindler's List.
Jesus Christ.
So who...
I could have done more. Wah.
Who would you have Liam Neeson do it, or would you have a different actor?
I think Neeson gets first
Right of refusal.
Yeah, first right of refusal.
Okay.
And then, I mean, I hate to say this, let Goldblum do it.
What?
He never says no.
It's true.
And people continually find him charming.
Yeah, they do.
I wish Bruce Willis was still here,
Is he?
I'm sorry. I believe Bruce Willis has dementia now. Because I think
I see. I thought you were intimating that he had passed. And I was
that he
shocked.
had died hard. No, he's still here. Because he was the voice of the babies in Look Who's Talking.
That's true.
And he was beautiful.
Oh. That would be an interesting reversal because, there's usually like, if there's a Tom Cruise movie that's being dubbed in a different country and with a different language,
right,
there's usually like a person in that country that is the Tom Cruise guy.
Yeah.
It's like a thing that happens frequently.
Yep.
So it'd be an interesting reversal if like for every baby,
there
was sort of like this baby until they exceed the age of whatever, 5 or 6, is being dubbed by Julia Roberts.
Yep.
Absolutely. Which they might prefer because, all they have to do is be in a voiceover booth for a few hours.
The Baby Dylan biopic with Chalamet.
Jeff Goldblum is Bob Dylan.
And the Fanning character.
Okay, so we have sports babies, we have Congress babies, Muppet babyification of all entertainment. I mean, we're putting babies everywhere. So that is good.
I like this because I really like the babies doing How To with John Wilson, the babies doing all the Nathan Fielder show.
Sure, yeah.
Because they take on a much gentler, more accepting tone.
I love all this. We talked about naps the other day.
You bet we did.
Introducing afternoon naps and stuff. Just wondering if there's other baby-related things that maybe it would be nice for adults to adopt, thereby validating babies.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe improving the lives of adults.
You're talking like warm milk. You're talking blankies at work.
Yeah, pacifiers need be.
I have another idea.
Yeah.
Baby cops. There's a cop who drives. He's unarmed. Mm-hmm. There's a baby. That baby does have a handgun. Now, here's the thing.
Honey, no.
Read it. Nobody's armed.
Nobody's armed.
The baby does have tiny little handcuffs.
Great.
Okay. The officer, the adult, has to take the baby with him and has to communicate through the baby. And so by that I mean He shows up with the baby. He's not allowed to speak. So when the person rolls down the window, what seems to be the problem officer,
Right.
he has to try to translate what the baby's saying, which they still need to see your insurance. And then the baby, he has like a ticket book. And so if he sort of grabs at the ticket book, then that means that he's trying to give you a ticket.
And you have to help him.
And you have to help him.
Uh-huh.
But these tickets, they range from $600 for speeding.
Oh my God.
To...
A lullaby.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Like give the baby a lullaby. Like sing a lullaby to the baby cop.
Yeah, sing gently to the baby cop. So the baby
And then
cop,
you can go.
The baby cop is feeling restless and needs a nap.
I love that.
That's fun, right?
Yeah, I think that would solve a lot of problems with our criminal justice system.
Yeah, totally. Baby Cops is so much more fun a show than Cops.
Baby cops, baby cops.
Good boys, good boys.
What you gonna do?
When
What you gonna do when
this
they
baby
do
falls asleep?
Poo in
Yeah.
their diaper?
And I think the entire court system should be baby judges, baby bailiffs.
I do think that if we're going to do baby judges, then we should institute what they still do in London, I think, which is that they have the wigs.
Yeah. Because if it's gonna be a arcane system, let's fucking act like it.
Yeah.
You know
Let's
what I
all
mean?
wear powdered wigs.
If we're doing this inhumane, put people in cages thing, let's act like
just go all the way.
monsters from the 1700s. I like baby mechanics, baby cars, baby homeowners, baby real estate agents.
Yep. Maybe the other thing we could do is institute a rule where we do a position swap in every family after a certain age.
Interesting.
So for like a couple of days, the babies are the parents and the parents are the babies.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun. I think
know?
it'd be nice for the parents too.
I think it'd be nice for the parents.
I really want to see hip baby vinyl record stores. It's like warehouse size, but it's all like the Wiggles.
And there's a really, really judgmental owner that like won't let you buy certain records.
Yep. Who has like a handkerchief tied around their neck and
like you're trying to get a single of Baby Shark. Get the fuck out of my store.
He's like, I'm not going to let you buy anything until you take home this baby television record.
Yeah.
That's Baby Marquee Moon. In this world, I think there are baby versions of critically
Oh, you
lauded
think so?
albums. Yeah, there's Baby Velvet Underground.
So would that be the same instrumentation, but the vocals are just like...
Yep. There's a baby hip hop section, like 90s golden era, baby hip hop, all the way to 2025. Kendrick Drake and Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Lil Wayne.
Lil Bow Wow.
Even younger Jeezy.
We really are just Muppet babying society in a way that I think is going to be really good for us. Because, you know, I feel like people complain about, like, they say babies are inherently like you have to teach babies not to be inherently selfish. But, you know, we're just sort of forcing babies to live within a structure that we have made. So I'm sort of curious what would happen if the babies were in charge. One of my favorite things about babies is that when they get to a certain age, they're really watching you do stuff.
Yeah.
And they really, like, try to mimic. Once I was living with a bunch of people and someone's sibling was visiting who had a baby. And the baby had kind of like made her way up the stairs and I was doing yoga in my room and she was like really watching me. And then I saw her like trying to do the same yoga pose as me.
No way.
This is hilarious. I do love having babies at every level of society. But there could also be a thing possibly where like we're just letting babies make decisions. Like if there's a group of scientists crowded around a baby and they're trying to decide what should get funding, where should we focus our efforts on trying to solve this problem or cure this disease or whatever. Like what's the baby most curious about?
Yeah.
What's the baby gravitate toward?
That's kind of what I was thinking with the Congress baby thing.
Totally. Yeah.
Is that I think they're not going to do worse than us.
No. Can you imagine baby ambassadors? There'd never be another war. A U.S. baby showing up to Yemen to meet the Yemeni baby.
They take the baby diplomat to like the military industrial complex and the baby starts crying and they're like, all right, shut all this down. We can't do war anymore.
He wants pillows.
Yeah.
They want pillow sweets.
Yeah, he wants stuffed animals. He's really into this baby stuffed giraffe.
Yeah.
We got to get him 100,000 of those. Instead, I also want to see baby racetracks with baby attendants and baby patrons. And they're not racing, but they are being bet on.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think betting on what people think babies will do is a fun framework. You know, like in Vegas, you're kind of just seeing like, what snack are they going to go for? There's a bunch of babies in a ring, all being humanely treated.
Yep.
But, you know, a bunch of men being like, come on! Go for the Oreo. Go for the Oreo.
I think behind soundproof glass, so it's like effectively silent in the ring, but as soon as you go
just
behind
there
the glass,
screaming.
just screaming, sobbing.
Go for the banana.
Throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You fucking idiot. Get the banana. I'm ruined. When he doesn't get the banana, you know?
Yeah. They're making like cute little faces and trying to like get him to come towards them and stuff. Yeah. That guy just spent his son's tuition on whether or not a 2-year-old was going to go for a hostess.
Oh, God. Oh, I have a problem.
Yeah, I want some baby spiritual leaders. And they do that, actually. Like when they choose the Dalai Lama, it's usually the reincarnation of the Lama, and they're quite young.
Yes. Yeah, they're like, it's sort of, I was going to make such a terrible reference in that it's an insulting comparison, but like in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they're all the potential slayers that could become the slayer. It's kind of like the Dalai Lama, I think. I would say also what I would like to do as part of this rebrand is that I want all babies don't wear cute stuff anymore. They wear period fashion. Like I want a baby in a full 3-piece suit with a fedora, or a baby in a Victorian dress. Mm-hmm. I just think that if babies, instead of wearing like cute onesies and stuff, had to wear just really elaborate period fashion, that it would grow their brand exponentially.
You've got hippie babies, headbands, bell bottoms, floral shirts. You've got 80s babies who have like slick back hair and like wide shouldered, large suits.
Yeah, but like a lot of like Road to Perdition era.
You like 20s gangster baby?
Yeah, I for some reason I'm really attached to this vision of like a 20s gangster baby. And like not like a costumey. Like even the hippie, I feel like it shouldn't be like you got this it was like a cute costume you got for Halloween.
No, authentic. Denim from 1968.
Absolutely.
Specifically. Yeah. For some reason I like the slightly baggier suits because I'm also thinking of like zoot suits because baby clothes are already a little baggy because they're hard to fit. They're all little pudgy little dough pieces and they're all like different sizes and stuff. So I feel like a larger suit on a baby is kind of funny because it's already sort of large.
Yeah, the sleeves are too long. You can't see their little hands. What if for stand-up, you had to have a baby on stage?
Yeah.
And the audience only gets to laugh if the baby is also laughing.
Oh, wow.
You're trying to make the baby laugh.
That makes it even harder, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hard mode.
I think that's good. That's a special night where people bring their babies into the audience. So there's a lot of baby energy, a lot of baby reaction. And then we really find out like what makes the babies laugh.
You know, it doesn't have to be all stand-up is like this now, but you know, I think it would increase the amount of silly noises, but decrease the amount of misogyny. I think.
Significantly, I would say.
You know?
Yeah. And crowd work would get a lot nicer.
Silly faces, silly voices, a lot less blatant racism.
Yeah. A lot less white people saying like this stereotype is true.
I feel like this is the most stoically we've ever talked about it.
Yeah, me too.
Rebrand. We have a very serious energy about us.
Oh, yeah.
You're like with a very serious expression on your face being like, yep, and the baby Congresspeople, we need 120 of those.
Yeah.
And then we're not really laughing that much. We're going, yeah, that's very good. That's excellent. It really belies how weird our moods are right now.
I don't have the energy for extra laughter. I have the exact amount of energy to describe what a baby Congress would look like. No more, no less.
Look, you have to pay us more if you want the yucks.
That's right. Patreon members get a special episode with a laugh.
Where with joy in it. We're fine. We're just living in 2025, you know?
Yeah, man. I'm a sensitive person. Like
we're both sensitive.
I'm sensitive like a baby.
We're both sensitive like babies. Here's the goddamn truth is everyone's fucking sensitive like a baby. That's what I think.
We're all just babies, man.
We're all just babies. We don't like babies because we don't like our own vulnerability.
That's right. Digable Planet said it. We're just babies, man.
We're just babies.
We're all just babies. And when you expect a baby to work for 12 hours, the baby gets really, really sad.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Yes. When the baby isn't allowed to rest. When the baby isn't fed.
Yep.
When the baby doesn't get to have fun.
When shit seems scary.
Yeah. When's the last time you got to do any of those, dear listener?
Yeah.
Took a nap? Had some fun? We're all goddamn babies.
That's right. Everybody's 1.5 foot tall with a full diaper.
Crying, trying their best.
Big stinky diaper. Silly hair swirl on top.
Oh.
Pudgy little cheeks.
Yeah.
Inability to articulate emotions.
That's right.
Or desires.
Just confused.
Confused. Little chubs. Chubby little arms.
Oh, their arms are so funny.
Fat little feet.
It's crazy how tiny babies' fingers are.
Yes.
Our beautiful friend Imani Hakim just had a baby, semi-recently. And that's the wildest thing about this baby is when you look at his hands and his freaking fingernails are the size of like an ant. They're so small.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my God, it's
They're
crazy.
their toes are like little peas or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're so tiny.
Yeah, they're tiny ass little dudes.
Yeah, I think we don't like it when the babies cry and the babies need stuff because like we want to cry and we want to need stuff.
Exactly.
And we don't let ourselves, God
Right.
damn it.
Yeah, we're jealous of those babies. I wish I could scream on an airplane.
I'm actually shocked that you didn't the last time you were on an airplane.
I know, it's all I can do not to scream.
I wish you had.
And piss and shit my pants.
For an hour and a half?
Yeah. Yeah! We have the same level of emotional responses that babies have, but we're not able to express them. But it's why we turn to like cigarettes and baby gambling. Because we got it.
I will say, I'm not a gambler, but baby gambling does sound kind of fun.
You gotta know when to hug them, know when to smile at them, know when to put them to bed, know when to jiggle keys in front of them.
You never count your babies.
When there's babies on the table.
There'll be time enough for counting when they're all asleep.
Yeah, and that's when the night's over, when all the babies finally fall asleep.
Yeah, when they fall asleep, that's a draw, I think, if they're in the ring and they get bored and they fall asleep, then it's
Which is especially key because gamblers can't turn it off, right? So
Yeah.
they'll go days and days and days, but you won't be able to gamble anymore because the babies are asleep.
They're asleep.
Yep. Baby models, baby magazines. Because with the...
I like that there's like sometimes just pauses and then you list things that babies could do, like Bubba Gump listing types of shrimp preparations.
Yeah. Or baby Bubba Gump could do it in our Lil Forrest Gump movie.
What's the funniest Muppet babyfication? I mean, we have some good ones. Chernobyl's up there.
I'd really like to see Lil Bloodsport.
Little training day.
Yeah, Lil Training Day is so funny. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Just a baby going.
Yeah. Right before that scene, Denzel Washington is like, it's one of those action sequences where he's like hanging on the front of the car, like on the windshield, and Ethan Hawke's trying to get him off by like crashing into stuff. So that with just two babies, but it's like a play school car or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
right?
not going very fast, but it's like a baby on the front of it going like,
You know, actually, what would be really great is the entire Fast and the Furious franchise, but with babies. The baby Vin Diesel, because he kind of already looks like a baby.
yeah, he does look like a baby. Yeah, it looks like a strong baby.
He kind of looks like a strong baby.
Yeah, that will not be hard to cast.
No.
The little tiny Michelle Rodriguez.
Yep. Mhm.
When the Dwayne The Rock Johnson baby flexes and the cast shatters. Yeah, when the babies go to space. Baby SNL, baby HBO Max.
This is making me think, too, that like any animated show would just be animated by the babies. So it'd be like, when a baby draws a car and it's just that like strange busted triangle shape. The way they use their hand to draw a turkey.
Yep, there's always a sun. For some reason, most buildings have smokestacks. I don't know where babies get that from, but with like swirls coming out of them.
Yep. And the sons are always got sunglasses on.
I would rather watch that version of Rick and Morty.
So basically everything and everyone is a baby.
Yeah, I think all entertainment, all justice system,
All of Congress.
all cultural institutions
Sports teams.
of all kinds, all live entertainment, be it comedy, music, or theater.
Great.
It's all babies.
I think our job is done.
Me too, although it's not oops all babies, it's yay all babies.
Yay,
'Cause
all babies.
Yeah, it was not a mistake.
We took the Muppet Baby formula and we applied it universally. Hey, I'd like to say to you, dear listener, treat yourself like a baby today. Where can they find us? These two babies on this podcast.
You can find Baby Mort and Baby Ashley on Baby Instagram at Rebrand the Pod. And you can find us on Patreon at Rebrand the Podcast. If you join the Patreon, you'll get extra footage. You'll get unreleased content. You'll get to join the Discord where people are giving suggestions for shows. And we occasionally do a Q&A hangout with Ashley and I.
Hey, thanks for sticking with us in this little bit of a grumpy episode, guys.
So be really, really kind to yourselves if possible.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yeah. Kiss the little baby inside you on the head and take a nap.
That's right. So give them some chocolate milk.
And get some honk shoes going. Rebrand.
Ding.
Rebrand.